Welcome to the Curate Your Life podcast with Temetria, where we focus on curating the life you've been dreaming of, one goal at a time. Hi, y'all. Okay, I feel like I did this confession probably like 20 episodes or so ago. I'd have to go back and figure out exactly when it was, and I don't know why it keeps coming up, and I'm working on it. I'm coaching myself on it and getting coached on it, but I resist doing this podcast. And deep down inside, I love it and I want to do it, and I resist when it's time to do it. So I'm going on a trip soon, and I needed to record some podcasts and have them up and ready to go. And the drama around just sitting down and getting them done has been monumental. And I know the reason why. It's the chatter in my brain. It's all of the things that I tell myself about the podcast and about the work. And it's my unmanaged brain that's giving me all these thoughts. It's not good enough. It's hard to do. I don't know what I want to talk about. I could have done that better. Like when I go back and listen, because I will listen from time to time, I could have done that better. Oh, I should have said this. So it's all of the negative things that I think about when I think about recording the podcast that make it harder for me to come sit down and just start talking, which is basically what I want to do. I want to come sit down and just start talking to you about the things that come up so we can talk about them, so we can deal with them. So if you come up against something like this or whatever we're talking about that day, you know, oh, A, I'm not the only one. B, I know how, I have some suggestions on how to handle it, right? And C, like if I really need help with it, I can reach out to Temetria and like have a consultation, or if I'm in the Curate Your Life Facebook group, which if you're a woman, you want to come join that, you can come join us. I can take it there and have the discussion there. But I get so wound up about it and I resist it so much. And I know that when I work with my clients, if they have emotions that they are resisting or thoughts that they're trying to clean up and manage, when you resist them, when you push them down, it's like a beach ball, like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Like when you let it go, it's going to burst up, right? So it's not going away. Those are going to be there. So deal with it, work through it, and then you get to the other side. And it's just, in this case with the podcast, it's the thoughts that I have that are making me feel anxious, not super anxious like you would be about something major, right? Because it's just sitting down to talk. But it's the thoughts that I have are the things that are making me push it away and to procrastinate. And when I just come here and do it and get it done, it's never as bad as I had it all hyped up to be in my head. It's never as big a deal, right? It's just something to work through, to examine, to explore, to look at those thoughts. Okay, why are those thoughts coming up? Because I compare this podcast to podcasts that I listen to that have producers and back-end people. And I've told you before, I'm sitting in my office with a ring light, a webcam camera, and a microphone and some software that I still don't know all the ins and out of. And I'm producing this, right? I don't have the sound studio equipment. I don't have the person who knows how to edit without the abrupt cuts. I don't. And it'll probably be a while before I'm a place where I want to send it off to be professionally polished and put together and produced. So this is what we are doing. This is where we are. And when I just come in and relax and talk and don't listen to all of those thoughts, or when I counter those thoughts with what I really know, what's really true, then it's so much easier. I'm not resisting. So I will tell you now, because I wanted to get these done, because I'm going out of town. This is podcast number 3 that I have done in the last 2.5 hours. So recorded one. It was the favorite things. I don't know exactly what order these are going to come out in, but so I recorded favorite things. I'll talk about some of my favorite things. I changed my shirt because there's a video element to it as well. And I talked about my 2nd annual retreat of the heart. And now here I am, podcast number 3, talking about why we resist, what happens when we resist, and how much easier it was when I just decided I'm just going to go talk about favorite things. It was fun. It was something natural. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, but there was no drama about it, right? And so that's one thing. And then it was so much easier once I did that one to get that one out of the way, to quickly change my clothes and get on to talking about the next thing. And I feel like that's what happens when we pause the tape of the thoughts that are running through our head and either play the tape of the thoughts that we want to run through our head, or just pause the tape and do something different. You don't even necessarily have to replace those thoughts. If you can't replace them in that moment, you could just move on to something else. Like, have you ever noticed, I've noticed this lately with, I'm doing jigsaw puzzles. I can sit there and, I'm working on a piece of the puzzle and I know that it fits. I know it's supposed to go in there some way. And I will walk away and I'll come back later or the next day. And the first thing that I figure out is where that puzzle piece was supposed to go, that I was trying to get into every spot imaginable. And I sit down and I see it immediately. Sometimes you need the distance and the space to see the things, or you just need to not try so hard. Those pictures that they used to have in the mall, remember malls, where you had to kind of unfocus your eyes to see the thing in the really, really busy painting. It's kind of like that. Sometimes you have to loosen the reins a little bit to let the horse go and get to where he's going. And I don't ride horses. I mean, I've been on a few because I do live in Texas, but not on a regular basis. And I'm not any kind of horsewoman. But I know sometimes you need to give the horse a little leeway, a little permission to go where he needs to go. And you need to trust that. So that is what I'm doing with this. That's what I did with these podcasts that I recorded today. I just sat down, I started talking. I'm like, I'm just going to trust this process. There's a message in there somewhere and I'm going to deliver it. And I try to remind myself of that because, again, if we go back a few episodes, we've had this conversation. I've been in this place and I'm having to remind myself again, just relax, just talk. The message will come and it'll be okay. It does not have to be perfect. And the best part about all of this is exactly some of the conversations that I have with my clients. Trust the process. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just take the next step. What's the mind drama and why are you having the mind drama? All of that stuff. Y'all, our brains are amazing and tricky, and you just have to watch out for them. And you have to manage the thoughts. And that's a lot of what we do in coaching. It's like managing the thoughts, managing your mind, because it's going 24/7 and it's hard to quiet it down. Like, it's a practice to quiet it or to notice what's going on and ask yourself and explore those thoughts that are coming. Like, is that what I want to think? Is it helpful? How is this holding me back? How is it moving me forward? What can I think instead? What do I want to work on thinking? What is my intentional thought? What do I want to do? and not just let your primitive brain take over, because it just wants three things. It wants to avoid pain, seek pleasure, and conserve energy. So it's like easy breezy. It's playing small. It's staying in the cave. It's not venturing out. But that's not where life happens. It's learning, it's growing, it's trying it again and again and again until it gets easier and you move forward, and then you come up against that next obstacle and you figure out how to overcome that. And when you overcome that, you move a little bit closer to the goal. That's life. That is actually living and participating in life and not hiding in the cave. So this is me today, not hiding in the cave. Podcast number 3 for the day. I'm about to drop the mic on this one and then go and have dinner. And then I will come back and address my editing skills and be okay with the product that I put out. And know that even though I'm not where I want to be in my mind or where I think I should be, podcast content producing wise, I'm not where I was. And the only way to get better is to keep doing it, keep assessing, keep working on the things that I need to work on, to figure out the editing, to figure out how to come and be comfortable and talk without a script, to talk to the camera now that it's on video and look more natural, right? This is not a natural thing that I'm doing. It's something that has taken some work and some learning. It's growing, it's getting better. It's also, I will share with you a little backstage secret. It's this little face that I have pasted right under my camera, and I look at that. I talk to that. The little smiley face. That's who I talk to. I've tried putting pictures of people up there and like magazine cutouts, and it doesn't work because it's weird and it's distracting. So just me and that little piece of Post-it note, what we're doing. But when I'm looking at that, I'm talking to you with all my heart, giving you everything that I have, and over time, it will get better. So thank you for hanging in. I hope this has been useful. If there's something in your life that you're resisting, that you're fighting against, sit down and think about why, and think about how it can be better if you don't resist it so much. If you release those reins a little bit, will it make it easier to get to that next step, to do the next thing? If you need help, I'm here. So much easier when it's me talking to you or talking to somebody else. It's easier, right, to see the outside perspective than to look inward. So that is what I'm here for. That's my whole job. So if you need help, please schedule a consultation. I'm happy to talk to you about it. You can always come over and find me on Instagram. I am at Coach Temetria on Instagram. You can send me a direct message, or info@coachtemetria.com is the email address, and I answer all of the emails. Until next time.